Hello, in this tutorial we're going to focus on archiving and restoring shows and also transferring them between devices. So let's get straight off with this test show that we created in the previous tutorial. Let's say now we've finished the performance and we want to make sure that we archive that complete with all its sound for future use. Even during the show I would do this from a protection point of view in case something happened to your iPad or if anything drastic happened and you needed to start again with a new device. So to do this you'll simply click on the Upload to Cloud button in the Archived Shows section, and what that will do is it will collect the show, the versions, and importantly all of the audio, and it will archive that and store it in a single file, initially just on your device. And you can see that's now appeared over on the left hand side in the archived shows list. So what that means is I can now delete this show completely, and if I ever needed to get it back again, all I need to do is click on that show and click on the little unzip button there, which has become available, and that will restore the archive and it will bring the show back here, and now I can go into it and I've got it there. Importantly, that also works, as I say, for audio. So if you're tidying up your audio, it may be that you're sort of getting rid of some things and you sort of delete a file that you think you don't need anymore. So say I delete that file off my local device, then what I'm going to now have is an error in my show. So you can see Q3 is bright red, and if I click on it, it'll tell me that's because that particular audio file is no longer available. But the nice thing about archives is because they contain everything you need, all I have to do is go back to my archive, unzip the show again, and then it will replace any audio files that were used in that show. And so now if I go back into the design screen, all my errors have gone and that audio file is back available. So the other thing that happens when you archive a show is it is also transferred into your iCloud account. So if you were to go to another device and run FX Live on that, then within a few minutes you would see that show appear in the list of archive shows, except it would be in a lighter grey, a sort of paler colour, like this one here where you see it says new demo show. And that's because that's stored in the cloud, but it isn't on my device. So to get that onto this device, it's a two-step process. Firstly, I click on the download from cloud icon, which is the only one available to me at the moment, and then in the background that will basically download that archive from your iCloud account onto your local device. And you can see there's a kind of little progress bar running there, and that could take several minutes, depending on how big your show is, how many audio files you've got in there. So it's a case of just being patient. Just while we're waiting for that to download, let's talk a little bit about show versions, because this is something new with FX Live 2 that makes it much easier for you to try out different things and also to give you an additional level of security if you're making some changes. So currently in my test show I've only got version 1. So if I now were to press the plus version button and add new version, just give them any name I like, and create that, then that's now taken me to that version, and I can go into the design screen and I can do all sorts of drastic changes, reorder cues, add new cues, try alternate things, try alternate levels. And I know that I've always got the option to go back to the previous version just simply by going back to this screen, clicking on version 1, going back to the design screen, and there you can see there's back to the original version. So I can switch very quickly between versions of the show, and that can be quite useful if you're just showing the director different ways of doing things, and you don't want to do anything destructive to your existing plotted version of the show. Okay, that's now downloaded, and you can see that the name of that show is no longer pale because that's now local on my device, and also the unzip icon has now become available, so I can now unzip that show as a separate process, and it will now copy that down and put that on my device. There we go. So I've now got new demo show, and inside that I've got the cues, and any additional sound that was used in that show will now have been transferred into the local audio library as well. So there we go, some quite powerful features there around management of shows and archives. Thank you for your time.